I wanted to start with Sam. We were talking just a while ago. Real estate as an asset class is still very touch and feel, So does the idea of tokenization sound a little abstract, when you talk about Indian buyers or investors?
The HOABL tech platform per se, if you have a closer home, was predicated on a fundamental consumer insight that land and gold are two means of creating intergenerational wealth. So predominantly our objective was that how do we create large retail participation in land like gold, and because of the traditional barriers to retail participation, we haven't seen that happening over the years in the country. So our primary objective at that point of time was to convert ownership of land from acres to square feet. And we believe that with the flux of time and because of a serendipitous innovation, because that the company was created during the time of peak COVID, and there was no other way but to engage with the consumers digitally. And in the span of the last 4 odd years of our inception, we have been able to take land across the various parts of the country in a sachetized format to the consumers across the globe. And the scalability and repeatability of the business model has been possible primarily because we engage, interact, and transact with the consumer digitally. So the first phase of the business was the discovery of the brand and the product remotely in a simulative manner. Then we moved on where we believe that the entire management of the consumer's life cycle can happen digitally, which we have been able to successfully do. So for us, tokenization and Web 3.0 is a natural progression where we believe that we will be able to bring innovation and work closely with the policymakers and the regulatory framework to create the liquidity of a stock market and the appreciation that is associated with land as an asset class. So the endeavor is to democratize land and make and constantly work towards making land an essential part of a consumer's wealth portfolio in a fractional and tokenized format.
Sam, thank you. So just to set the context, I think your first project was in 2021 in the peak of COVID, and the Dapoli project, and you almost sold it digitally, the entire project. So a lot of people were not able to see the land per se, but they anyway bought. Is this going to be the regular norm now? May I ask Mr. Hiranandani, what does he feel? You're obviously credited with creating some of the landmark projects. Do you feel, now it will be tokenization that will take over?
I think the audience knows better. There was a time when I was required to sign shares for transfer of shares a couple of years ago. Not very many back, just 20 years ago. If I wanted transfer of shares, we would have to sign those papers. That's now gone. In the case of property, you can do real estate by going into an IPO listing. You can do REIT and get into a listing. And now they have taken it to the next level. So what is it actually happening? It's the fact that liquidity of money worldwide, investment portfolios in different places, like you're investing into the capital market, debt market, gold. So you have gold, originally physical gold. You don't have physical gold now. You invest into the security system which is backed by gold. So I think the real estate is also moving into the same market for two reasons. Number one, the capital markets have too much money. They don't know where to put the money. So real estate is one of the additional areas where you want to do it. Second, the ease of doing business has improved over a period of years. So all the issues which were relating to land have improved over a period of time. Not enough, to be honest, but it's a long way to go in order to do it. But they've taken the marketing part of it to the next level. So I think congratulations to House of Abhinandan Lodha to take it to the next level. And I'm also learning from him in order to do that better and better over a period of time. But this innovation had started long back in different segments of the segment. And I think it's going to continue to happen in a much bigger way in the future than its past. But second, it is going to be consolidation first and tokenization second. Because there are bad people in the market. Until that system is not set, the consolidation will take place, and it's already started. So for example, in the MMR region, before COVID, we had 18,000 developers who were there. Today, there are 12,000. So consolidation has already taken place very quietly, silently, but truthfully. How would you go in for tokenization if you didn't trust the paper that you were going to do it? So I think the trust factor, consolidation factor, all these factors are going to be much more important in the future than in the past. But of course, this is going to happen and there is no going back on this. Last one, the AI system which is going to take up, we'll get far more data availability to the investor over a period of time because of AI. The documentation of registration, availability of land records, and all these things have to be consolidated through AI. The states are doing it, they're very slow. We still have a long way to go in order to get it completely to happen. My view, in the next 1 year to 2 years, all that is going to happen. So what he's doing now, you will see almost 50% of the people doing it tomorrow. But the other part of it, if it is not done, then it may take 5 years or 10 years to make it happen across the board. So you can't have saying tier 2, tier 3, land, everything is going to go that way. Because it's also about trust. It is about backing it up with security and making surety of what is there. That's a big question mark in many cases. So whether it's going to happen across the board today, answer is definitely no. Tomorrow, 100% yes.
Of course, I mean, so the brand play is going to be very, very important here. I think we are already seeing that in conventional real estate, where brands are obviously commanding much higher premium than, say, not so well-known brands. Let me go to Mr. Rohira. You run one of the largest REITs in the country. Do you feel slightly even threatened is probably an extreme word to use, but if tokenization really gains momentum in a big way, will REITs, feel the heat to some extent?
Yeah, it's only going to increase the marketplace. So I think first let me just go with what Niranjan sir just said. I think our markets are not mature and disciplined to be able to adapt to an efficient product like tokenization to that level, because there is no real transparency available, right? Even the REIT legislation took 8 years to build. Thankfully so, they were very, very conservative to build that, even though there were global models available to learn from. SEBI was very tight on what they wanted to do, and rightly so, because you don't want hard-earned money of investors who are excited about investing in real estate, seeing this as an opportunity for fractional ownership to the smallest degree and losing out on their capital. So I think the governance mechanism has played out, but I think we are a long way to go till that market matures and you come down to tokenization to a substrata level. I don't think it's going to play out early, and it should not, if you ask me, for the benefit of investors. But we certainly should progress, because technology as well as the digital age is going to help us fast track that. You don't have any information about, assuming you want to buy a 5,000 square foot office in a building, right? You don't know about who owns it, what is their title like, what is the debt raised against it. You're just buying the office building without knowing who the rest of the building is. Now you're asking for tokenization of that 5,000. Yes. There may be 15 people owning the 5,000. It's rented out at the end of the day because you want to earn yield, right? And if you don't have the right partners owning that 5,000, the tenant is going to run away. So you're going to lose all your money. So we should not even think in that direction till you don't have a mature marketplace. It's not there anywhere else in the world, mind you, to that degree of tokenization. So I think we're a long way to go. But yes, digital mapping of real estate, very critical, inevitable. I don't think it's a choice. We have to do it. It's a matter of time.
Reshmi, if I can come to you, so what is your view? I mean, do you see this as a natural progression of things, or you think it's slightly early an idea, but we'll get there eventually?
I think. Hello. Yeah, this is the beginning, and like Sir said, and Vinod, it's going to take some time for this to mature. But clearly, we are moving in a direction where real estate tokenization is going to be a reality, because it will unlock a lot of capital. It will also make land more liquid, which is an issue today. Very difficult to, to buy land because of the high costs, etc. So if this is done successfully, it needs a lot of aspects to be covered. A, we need to digitize all the land records. B, we need to have government regulatory frameworks which talk to each other. There shouldn't be conflicts between, say, a RERA or a SEBI law or the FEMA or RBI rules and regulations. In fact, we have to, change the Transfer of Property Act and modify that. A whole lot of things need to be done for this to be successful and to be operated successfully. Right. But if you ask me, maybe 5 years back, and I was just talking to them, who would have thought that I could buy something and it gets delivered in 15 minutes and I pay for it within a second, right? But today we see everyone adopting to that technology. So if we are able to address the regulatory issues, if you're able to digitize the land records, because acquisition, title clearance is a problem, and if you're able to address all these, then we are slowly moving in that direction.
Sure. If I can come to Hiranandani, sir, speculation has been always a part and parcel of real estate. With this, you think the fair price discovery, people are going to, take all kind of bets. And we don't have, well-established marketplaces. I think there are a few examples here and there. What is it going to do the price of real estate per se?
If you're going listing, there is always speculation. The speculation can be by FIIs, FDIs, individual investors, everyone. So the more you marketize, the more you speculate. So let's not talk about speculation as a thing about the whole thing. Market discovery will be much better by doing what process you are. Number two, transparency, because information will be available across the board. And the availability of data, which is there already happening. And this principally is done because of RERA. So the Real Estate Regulatory Act has completely changed that aspect of it. And the extent to which data is now available, 5 years ago, I promise you, I wouldn't know. Even I, with all the background of real estate, would know 1% of what Mr. Raheja is doing. Today I know at least 75% of what he's doing simply because it's in the public domain. So I don't see that going backwards. So we have the information in the public domain. Investment is going to go across the board. You will get international investors coming back to India. I'll give you an example. We did a launch of Panvel project, 1,500 apartments last year. Our average NRI sales in that segment used to be about 10%. This time it was 26%. So already the change is happening. So it's not that that is going to happen in the future. It's already here. But it is because data is available, information is available, Regulatory Act is far more different than it used to be before, and transparency. Price discovery comes from transparency. So it's already here. Speculation is a separate issue. How one speculates and who believes what is going to happen when, that part of it, The
Sure.
stock markets, I have never been able to understand most of it, what is happening even today with the stock markets. And I found that many of the experts who are considered experts are proved wrong.
Right.
So, but real estate, I'm still learning.
The REITs have remained fairly stable. I mean, they have not been a, you know.
But REITs is a different commodity. It's a continuous income flow of a regular nature. So you have a lot of determination irrespective of who is there. And the listing is with only 4 big people in the country. So it's a very small thing. While residential and commercial housing is only 1 billion times more volume-wise and through the country. So we have a long way to go in that. But we are going to get there. And you will find that you will be able to then decide much better in the future than in the past because a lot of data is available. And because of AI, you will be able to make judgment calls which you could not make because of the complexity. Like she said, you don't know who's your neighbor and all that. Tomorrow, all that information will be available. And it will be available, but you can't process it because the human mind can't process billions of data. But AI will be able to do it.
Blockchain and AI is going to do that for you.
100% you will see that happen and not tomorrow. In 5 years, it will be there.
Sure.
All that will be there. So you will find far more investments coming into India than it ever did.
Right.
In the real estate business, every year there will be a growth of at least 25 to 35% compounded growth of investment into real estate alone. I don't know about the stock markets, you know better.
Sam, if I were to ask you a very hypothetical question, also keep it short, we are almost towards the end of the session. If I were to ask you today from your portfolio, which asset will you tokenize first and what would be the average ticket size? Both of you can answer that.
So while I'll not speculate on the price as you said, but the characteristic of a tokenized product as far as we are concerned is largely seen as a mix of 3 fundamental things. Number 1, a very strong emotional association with the location. Number 2 is the reliability of a wealth creation headroom. And the third part is that where consumers are seeing that, or we are witnessing because of availability of information, of a good confluence of connectivity, good governance and infrastructure. So these are the places.
No, I mean, just point blank, if I could ask you, will you first tokenize your land or will you first tokenize your real estate projects or will you tokenize your hospitality projects? What would be your biggest?
We will definitely, if in terms of priority, the logical progression for us when it comes to tokenization will be land. Because that's where we have seen a large predominant interest because we have seen consumption being extremely heterogeneous. In conventional real estate, place of production and place of consumption remains the same, whereas in land, it's far more diversified. The place of production and the place of consumption could be quite varied.
Of course. Sir?
I think commercial property is the easiest to tokenize because of the REITs portfolio is already time tested in the market. So today commercial will be there. Tomorrow it will be land or any other thing that is there. But more than that, what we are going to see in the future is creation of destinations. So yesterday Powai was a destination, tomorrow Thane was a destination, day after tomorrow the new airport Panvel will be a destination, 4th day Prime Minister will create Ayodhya as a destination. So all the price points that you're now talking about is going to change. Today this is a destination, you have to now work out what is my next destination. Because the price point growth of 10, 20, 30, 40% growth in prices and volumes is going to happen in places where new destinations are getting created. And this is going to grow both in real estate as a whole and hospitality as second. So I think both these areas looks like growth, exponential growth in the next few years. CRISIL's report last stated real estate this year will again grow at a compound of 12%. My feeling is it will grow at least at 15% on top of last year. Last year they had predicted 8%, it went 10%. This year they predicted 10, my feeling it's 12. And you will see that. Of course, we don't know now. This world is so funny. Tomorrow they want to declare war everywhere in the world. Then something will have a setback for some time. But otherwise, India is the best country to invest today.
Right.
And I don't think that's changing in the short run.
Right. Mr. Rohira, you agree with the asset classes, largely hospitality and commercial? I mean, as a retail person, I would ask, can I tokenize residential real estate, whether big players like REIT, like Raheja REITs will be interested, Mindspace will be interested in transacting with me?
See, I think REITs is a clear demonstration of tokenization. Okay, it's already there. They changed that to a 200 rupee investment from 20,000, right? So we had at the IPO level 8,000 investors. Today we have 70,000 investors, right? This could go to 200,000. Now it's become an equity play. Very soon it will be in the index. So it's anyways moving in that direction. It all depends on how mature your consumer is. Everyone wants to participate in real estate. You're either participating for an annuity return or a cumulative total return, right? If the markets become transparent, there is data available, there is price discovery, there is an index for residential real estate, which is driven by micro markets. It's driven by infrastructures. If you go to a neighborhood in America, you will see the ratings of schools, then you look at infrastructure, you look at crime, you look at all the utility costs, and then even the micro asset is valued very differently. In each house can be valued. You're far away from that. If you get that here, and then you want to institutionalize to say that there's total return because you don't have residential yield return yet in India, you're still shy of 2 to 3%, right? You may reach in mature markets to 4.5%, but you look at a total return. You will tokenize even that. Mr. Lokhandwala launched that 25 years ago. Legislation didn't allow it. Legislation still doesn't allow it. It failed at that point on. It was a phenomenal product that was launched. It was amazing. At 25 years ago, I remember that you could buy 2 square feet out of an apartment and you just had a token. So really, the idea was even visible then. Even now in 25 years, you haven't seen that come through in legislative. So once it comes through, we are mature. I think anything can be tokenized.
Right. Thank you so much. The Honorable Minister is already in, so we'll have to close this session. But thank you so much, and please continue this conversation after this session. Feel free to reach out to our panelists. Thank you so much again.